The town of Oak Grove, Oregon, was the embodiment of American tranquility in the 1980s. Everyone there knew that Arthur Vance was a man you could rely on, a successful architect, a devoted father, and an active member of the local church. He had earned the reputation of a golden neighbor. Arthur often helped the community. He personally designed the town library and provided free consultations to neighbors regarding home renovations. Yet behind this flawless facade hid a mind obsessed with structure, control, and absolute silence. Beginning in 1982, a sinister pattern settled over the town. One detectives would later call Case 3-15. Every 15 months, precisely at 3 p.m., a woman vanished without a trace somewhere in the county. There were no witnesses, no signs of struggle, only abandoned cars with the keys still in the ignition. Detective Jim Gallagher spent years battling this mystery, never suspecting that the killer was shaking his hand every week. Arthur Vance frequently visited the police station, brought coffee, and, with professional curiosity, studied maps of the area alongside the officers, seemingly helping them search for possible hiding places. Everything unraveled in June 1991 due to a simple technical accident. While Arthur was away on a business trip, a main water pipe burst in his basement. Unable to reach her husband, Mrs. Vance called a local plumber named Mark. When Mark descended into the basement, something immediately felt wrong. The architectural plans of the house did not match the actual length of the walls. Tapping on the concrete, he heard not the dull sound of solid stone, but hollowness. Behind a heavy shelving unit filled with tools, he discovered a concealed hydraulic panel. When the police arrived and the wall finally slid open, the detectives were confronted with Arthur Vance's underground masterpiece. It was not a filthy dungeon. Beneath the house, Arthur had built a perfect replica of a living space, complete with flawless soundproofing, soft lighting, and artificial ventilation. In the sterile world lived three women who had been missing for years. They were neatly dressed and seated at a table, but their eyes were empty. They were in a state of deep psychological shock, completely submissive to the strict schedule of their architect. The most horrifying discovery was found in Vance's private office. There, investigators uncovered thousands of hours of audio recordings and journals. Arthur did not consider himself a murderer. In his delusions, he saw himself as a savior who had isolated these women from a chaotic and filthy world in order to create perfect, controlled order for them. But the final piece of evidence made even the police captain shudder. Beneath the floor, they found a fourth chamber, prepared specifically for Detective Gallagher's wife. Arthur planned to abduct her the following week to complete his project. Arthur Vance was arrested that same evening as he calmly returned home with a bag of groceries. In court, he behaved coldly and arrogantly, claiming that the law was simply incapable of comprehending his higher pursuit of harmony. House number 42 on Elm Street was demolished down to its foundation, but the memory of it still poisons the air in Oak Grove. This story left the town with a scar and an eternal question. Do we truly know the person who smiles at us over the fence every morning?